bookie. The game started there without any warning. Thunder has the ball. Sell. No good. Chris White. Chad White.
And Cassius Springer all.
We are ready. We are set. As Mitchell goes up for the shot, blocked. Bosby gets it stripped by Nick Gregorio. Gregorio. I'll figure you out, Nick. I'll figure you out. Thunder lead 2-0. 2 minutes into the game. To Nick. Williams kicks it up to Jeremiah Mitchell. Draws from the left. No good. Chad White Jr. with the rebound and putback. Just noticing here too, Jeremiah Mitchell is number 17. Normally plays at number 8. 1 + 7. It's making me chuckle a little bit.
And Shannon with the bucket.
Williams from the left, no good. Ends up by Cassius Springer, ends up in the hands of Chris White, who goes up for the little midi and gets it to fall. Tie in the game. Springer on the right. Bryant Tansey thinks about it, drives the lane instead, gets to fall and draws the foul from Mr. number 77, Chad White Jr. And he will be going to the line to complete the end one play.
Nick Gregorio.
We'll get you. We'll get you, Nick. Walt's got it too. De Gregorio. We just got to keep doing things, Nick, and then we'll get you right. As Tansey completes the 3-point play. White to Nick. No good, rebounded, almost attempted. Halbert hits the foul on Chris White, and I believe that will send him to the line.
Foul is assessed to number 8, Jerome Halbert. That'll be his first team first.
Hits it. Makes it 6-7. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot march. Tansey to Bosby. No good. Rebounded by... picked up by Tansey, was rebounded by Jalen. Balls get knocked away all over the place. Tansey throws it into Halbert. goes up, no good. Tansy with the cleanup.
Tansy with the rebound and putback.
Chad White Jr. brings it up. LaRon Williams goes for it, no good. Rebounded by Cassius Springer. Barely gets it away to Tansy. He goes up from the far line, off the rim. Rebounded by Halbert. Over to Bosby. Backs to Tansy. Over Chad White. Loses it off his foot. Picked up by J. Mitch. And I think the Grizzlies got the ball off or the timeout off in time before the jump ball was called. They did. Thunder up, 9-6. We'll be back. We are back. Grizzlies ball. Chris to Chad. Chris grew his hair out a little bit. That's how I used to tell them apart. Again, the numbers are different. There's no names on the jerseys. As J. Mitch goes up, no good. Rebounded by Obomo. Jeremiah Mitchell, owner of Mitchell's Fitness. Chris drives the left, gets it to fall.
Makes it look easy as he gets the deuce.
Ron Williams is playing real tough in this phase. As Bosby takes a little midi in the face of Chad White. Grizzlies kick it out. Williams. White at the top of the key, goes for it. No good. Tipped out, rebounded by Chad White. Over to J. Mitch in the corner. Fakes him out, drives the lane, pulls up. No good. Grabbed up by Tonky Blandon.
Foul be assessed to number 0, Tanky Blandon. That'll be his first foul, team second. Sorry, team third.
Chad driving, Chad knocking it down. Bringing this to a 1-point game. Thunder up, 11-10. Bosby pulls up for 3. No good. Rebounded by Cassius. Kicks it out to Tanky from 3. No good. Rebounded by Chad and Cassius. Who is it out on? Out on Cassius will be Grizzlies ball. Out on Chad will be Thunderball. Tanky takes it out. McKinnon for the midi. Gets that down.
And bucket.
Chris drives left, no good. Rebounded by McKinnon. Running all the way down the lane. Hits 2 defenders and kicks it out to Tanky in the right, no good. Rebounded by Halbert. He does get it to fall.
Halbert is 15-10. Thunder have a lead.
He's a nice new face in the league. Seems to be showing himself out pretty well. He's hit some rebounds. Nice shot. Williams tries to answer one of his own. Little mix-up there between Bosby and Halbert. Ends up with Ian Abomo getting the ball under the hoop. 15-10. Bosby drives. Kicks it over to Springer in the corner. Pulls up for it. Looked like it was a little tip by Williams. Picks off. Back to Cassius. Finds Bosby in the corner. Little push off there. I think they're going to call the foul on Chad.
And the tough bucket inside.
Chris driving around Halbert. Goes in for it, knocks it down.
Gets the bucket.
McKinnon's picked up by Williams, drives the lane. Has a little bit of a shoulder bop with Obomo, which will draw the foul.
Foul will be assessed to number 5.
McKinnon goes to the line.
Ian Obomo, that'll be his first foul, team 4th.
First one good. Number 2, no good. Rebounded by Chad. Nope, rebounded by J. Mitch. It's 1-7, not 7-7. And there's Chad, 4-3, no good. Almost picked up by Tanky, but it does get all the way down to Cassius Springer under the hoop. And it is in the hoop. Chris with the good grab. Draws the foul from Halbert. Goes to the line to complete the 3-point play. The score is 20-16. Thunderball.
Be assessed to number 8. Draw Halbert, that'll be a second.
Chris has a chance to make it within 3. Within 2. 3. Math is not my strong suit. One, 2, and 3. Completes the play. Bosby breaking defenders. Kicks it out to Tansy. Drives on the right-hand side. Loses it. Kicks it out to Bosby, who hits the 3 from the corner and makes this a 6-point game. 17-23. As Jeremiah Mitchell, 17, passes to number 23, Chad White. Chris White. I will get it. One of these days. As Bosby drives down the left-hand side, loses it, but...
And it'll be out of bounds. It'll be Grizzly ball.
He found Tanky in the corner, but he missed it. Trying to get the left-hand view for you. It's the lane we've been looking for years. Chris White, no good. Saved by Obomo. Gets it to Jeremiah Mitchell, no good. White with the board, puts it up, and good. 4-point game. It's week 1, game 2. Game 1, we had the Hornets over the Celtics, 66-41. Very lively game. With 7 minutes left of the second game, Thunder's up by 4. That's a carry on Chris White. Just gonna call him White. Bosby crosses half court. And I want to say, it's not that I don't know Chad and Chris apart. It's just that my brain and my mouth do not catch up to each other enough to call them correctly at the correct time. Darian Bosby at the line. Hits it. 26-19. Bosby on White. Jeremiah Mitchell from the top of the key over to the left-hand corner. No good. Rebounded by Chris White.
And it'll stay here. It'll be Grizzly ball.
Five and a half left in the first half. Mitchell into Nick, into Williams, over to Nick for three. No good. Rebounded by Chad White, who goes up for a little midi and does get that to fall. It's going to be Grizzly ball. It looks like BT stepped over the line. A double pass. Ends up with Grizzly ball. Mitchell to Williams, back to Mitchell. Chris White. Over to Williams in the corner, no good. Rebounded by Nick. Tips in and out. Marcel Hobbs ends up with it. Bosby. Finds McKinnon in the corner, goes for it, no good. Rebounded by J-Mitch. Out to Williams, drives on the left-hand side. He's got Tansy on him, who gets the good block and the rebound. Back to Bosby. Tansy drives the left-hand lane, and it's good. 5-point game. Thunder call their first timeout, their second. Red timeout. We'll be back. We are back. Chris White crosses half court. Drives to the right. Almost gets a travel in there, but kicks it up to his brother, who drives the lane on the right-hand side. Goes for a jump ball. Williams gets his hands on it just enough. Halbert, other number 8. 2 new faces in the league. Chad goes up for it, gets it in. Ogbomo on top of Chad, tries to go for it. DeGregorio. I'm going to practice saying your name at halftime, Nick. It's D-E-G-R-E-G-O-R-I-O. DeGregorio. Mitchell into Chad. Knocks it in. Brings it into a 5-point game. 28-23. Thunder are still up. McKinnon on the left side. Pulls up. Gets that to fall.
With the layup inside.
Mitchell being backed down by Tanky. Chad pulls up from deep. No good. Mitchell with the rebound. Tosses it up. Ogbomo with the rebound, but gets it stripped by Halbert. Gives it to McKinnon, who drives the lane. He's got Jeremiah Mitchell on him. Drives full down. Runs into Chris White.
That'll be a charging violation.
Calls the charge. Grizzlies ball.
To number 3, Juwan McKinnon. That'll be his second foul, team 5th. Sorry, team 6th.
Chad to Chris. Chris kicks it down to Mitchell. Tosses in the lane. Intended for Ogbomo. Picked off Now it's a race with McKinnon and Chad White. McKinnon won. Chad knocked it out. Thunderball. 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in this first half. Thunder with control, 30-23. Over the head of Ogbomo. Ends up in the hands of De Gregorio. Chad White drives all the way down, cuts over to the right-hand side, can't get it to foul. Bounce back and forth between some Grizzlies, ends up in the hands of Brian Tanzi, who kicks it over to Bosby. He's driving on the right-hand side, switches to the left, shot from the top of the key, no good, rebounded by Chris White. Takes his own way all the way down. Bosby went up for a foul, but didn't complete it. Does get the foul on Jay Mitchell. John McKinnon.
His third foul.
3 fouls in the first half. He's playing a really good, tough game for his first game in the league. But he's got to watch out for the fouls. People who are new to the league don't know how to play on carpet, and sometimes you do a little bit of slipping where you don't mean to, and your hand drags a little bit where you don't mean it to, and you end up with the other team hitting a 1-and-1. No good for Mitchell, rebounded by White, who goes up with it, gets his own rebound, goes up strong with it, and then draws the foul once again. 42 seconds left of the first half. Refs looks like they're kind of going to run it down a little. I don't know. Yeah, they're going to let that run down. Chris White at the line for the 1-and-1. No good. Oh, it's 2 shots. So it would not be a 1-and-1. Tanky got just as excited as I did. 12 seconds left. Chris is going to end the half. Throws up for it. Gets that one down. Thunder hope to get one shot off. Tansy's got the ball from half court. Pulls up. Oh, that would have been a nice little halftime going into. But for now, Thunder up 30-24. We will be back in about 5 minutes. Hello, and welcome back. Chris White. Halbert's on him hard. Sell draws the charge. Draws the block. I thought his feet were set. I'm on your side, Selly.
Foul assessed to number 25, Marcel Hobbs. That'll be his second foul, team first. Chris White over and shooting 2.
4-point game. We are 1 minute into the second half of the second game of the 9th season, spring 2025. And for anyone wondering about the t-shirts, it is our 9th season, and we are doing a fun little throwback to season 1 when we had, what was it, Commissioner, 15 people in the league? It was red versus blue.
Foul assessed to number 10.
So we thought it would be a nice little treat for everyone to see how we started, where we are, how we've gotten here. Springer for the first free throw, no good. Hits his second off the rim, rebounded by Chris White, who's got a nice block there from brother Chad. Finds Mitchell down at the bottom.
And
Our first corner 3 boom of the season. Thank you, Mr. Hudson. Bosby with that 3. I also want to give a big thank you to Mr. Demarius Scott, who I'm very excited to see in a little bit, for correcting me, our little K1 historian. letting me know that, in fact, Jawan has played in our league before, back when the Pacers were a team, which was, I think, my first year here. So that would be 1.5 million years ago. Thank you, Mr. Historian. Chad White crosses half court, drives the entire lane. He traveled. I saw it. We all saw it.
Where we going? The other way.
He's looking for a little escape from the cold. He's going on a little trip. Williams to Bosby, no good. Rebounded by Chris White. Long pass to Williams, who goes up from the left and knocks it down. Makes it a 2-point game, 33-31 with 16:30 left in the second half. Cassius Springer over to the top of the key where he finds McKinnon, who takes the shot and knocks it down. Chris White drives. Grizzlies have just been grabbing the ball and running it down. It's got to work sometime. Jeremiah Mitchell with a little bit of a reach-in foul.
Technical foul will be assessed to number 23.
I thought it was a little
Chris White.
it was T on Chris. First technical of the season. And Bosby in and out, misses the first one. But he does knock the second one.
Increases the lead, 37-31.
Makes it a 6-point game. McKinnon to Halbert. Over to Cassius with an air ball rebounded by Chad White. Down to Jay Mitchell. Under the hoop. Gets it to fall. Back to a 4-point game. McKinnon over to Bosby. Well, short pass. Almost loses it. Back out to Bosby. Drives the lane in between a bunch of Grizzlies right through the den. Tansey with the three. No good. Rebounded by J-Mitch. Drives it up, and of course, as I mentioned it, not going to do it again. Chad White goes for the three. Full three. That's what we like to see, bringing it into a 1-point game. Going to see a lot of tough defense from the Grizzlies, trying to get it back, and they do a little pickup. Chad White. He ran around there a little bit. The Grizzlies' first lead of the game. Up by 1, 38-37. Williams playing in-your-face defense, tips it over. Bosby for three, no good. Grabbed almost by Agbomo, tipped out by Agbomo. He grabs it, kicks it out to the left-hand side to Williams. Jeremiah Mitchell from the free throw line, no good. Picked up by McKinnon. He goes to drive the lane, loses it. Inside pass to Springer, which ends up in the hands of Jeremiah Mitchell. Kicks it down to Williams for three, no good. Ogbomo right through his fingers again, but ends up with it again. They got 15 seconds, time to set things up. Mitchell drives the lane. No good. Bosby ends up with it. Drives the lane himself. Kicks it down to Halbert.
Inside.
They got to grab the ball there before they get to delay a game call. De Gregorio over to Chad. It's down to Williams, goes up for the three, no good. Rebounded by Tansey, by himself under the hoop. It is a 1-point game. Thunder's currently leading 39-38, 12:40 left to play. And welcome in if you haven't been here. We're so happy to have you back. Game 1, the Hornets beat the Celtics 66-41. And right now it's Game 2. The Thunder have a 1-point lead over the Grizzlies with 12:20 left in the game and the half. Tansy inside. Finds Cassius under the hoop. Big block by Ogbomo, but ends up in the hands of Halbert, who kicks it back out to Tansy. 8 seconds left on the shot. I don't know if he sees it. He goes up for it. Big block by Ogbomo. Ogblaco. Trey, do you see you out there? Ogblaco. Thunderball. Tansy out. Just gets the shot off in time, hits the rim, resets, but Chris White ends up with it, kicks it all the way down to Williams, goes up for it, no good, gets his own rebound, and it's stripped by Tanky, kicks it over to Bosby, drives on the right-hand side. McKinnon ends up with the shot. Chris White goes up for a big old blackie. Thunderball. Tansy, the volleyball line. Pulls up for a long three. Boom! I took your boom, Walter. Chad White. Over to Chris White. Over to Jeremiah Mitchell. Big cut from Ogbomo. Gets the pass, doesn't get the fall, but does get the foul. And he will go to the line. 4-2. The possibility to make this a 2-point game. 42-38 right now. Thunder have been in control most of the game. Grizzlies are right there scratching at them. They have only had the lead once. 3-point game now. Ogbomo knocks it down. 2-point game, 10 minutes left. Bosby sets the screen for McKinnon, ends up losing it. Cassius kicks it out and ends up in the hands of Williams, who goes up for the left-hand layup, gets that to fall. We have a tie game, folks. 42 all. 0-0. Tansy's a little pickpocket by Jeremiah, but then Tansy knocks him back for a foul, for a block. He calls for a technical. I don't think it was just a regular old foul. Wasn't going up. Ogbomo checks out of the game. Chad White goes up, missed, gets his own rebound, and hits it down. Grizzlies for their second lead of the game by 2 points, 44-42. Bosby from the top of the key, no good. Rebounded by Chris White. As the Grizzlies do, they drive the lane. He kicks out to Mitchell. Finds Williams in the corner, thinking about it. It's a little baby screen from Mitchell from the corner of the box.
From the mid, Ron Williams.
46-42, Grizzlies' largest lead of the game. Tansy 4-3, no good. Rebounded by De Gregorio. Chad to Chris. Williams thinks about it, decides to. No good. Rebounded by Gregorio, which is then stripped by Springer. Nice block by Chris White over McKinnon. Grizzlies end up with the ball. Chad White up and in, making that 6-point lead. And that will make the Thunder call their first timeout. And we will see you in about a minute. Welcome back, Thunderball. Cosby crosses half court. McKinnon drives left over to Halbert. A little bit of a jump ball. Chad White goes in for it strong.
It'll stay.
It'll stay Thunderball. Both teams under 4 fouls, 3 for the Thunder, 2 for the Grizzlies. They are playing very hard and very in your face, and for them to only have those 5 fouls called, one of which was a technical. Been playing strong and safe as Jay Mitch goes up and extends their lead to 8, 50-42. McKinnon looks down for Tansy, Bosby. Runs into a couple of White brothers. Chad with a little kick. Tansy with a quick 3, no good. Rebounded by Chris White. Over to Jeremiah. Over to Williams. Midi is goody. Extends their lead to 10. Grizzlies are starting to run away with it. Looks like the Thunder's run out of lightning, if you will. The Grizzlies are out of their cave, waking up from the winter. Williams, good.
It's crazy.
Hit that for a 2, 54-42. And this lead has become very large. The Grizzlies have turned it up.
And we have another jump ball. This one will go to the Grizzlies.
Grabs the other jump ball. Sends it the other way. So Chris White will hit it into Nick DiGregorio. Chris goes all the way up, draws the foul from Cassius Springer, and he will go to the line.
That's the number 1 Cassius.
Chris White will go to the line.
That'll be his first foul. Team 4th.
6th foul of the game, the half, 15 minutes. Very tough, very safe, very smart. Chris hits the first one. Looking to extend the lead to 14. Sitting at 13 right now. Makes it 14. Ogbomo in for DiGregorio. McKinnon taking it all the way, goes up and under, draws the foul from Ogbomo, and will go to the line.
Foul will be assessed to number 5, Ian Ogbomo. That'll be his 2nd foul. Team 3rd.
Grizzlies.
And bucket from LeBron Williams. He's on fire, guys.
McKinnon kicks it over to Bosby. Sees Springer under the hoop, but it is picked up by Ogbomo. Chad crosses half court. Finds Chris at the little left of the top of the key. In and out, no good. There was a foul called in there, looking like it was on Chad. Chad looks like it was on Chad.
To number 5, Ian Ogbomo. That'll be his 3rd foul. Team 4th. Sorry, team 5th.
16-point lead. Thunder had control of this game till about 10 minutes ago. They were up the entire game. Grizzlies hit 2 in a row and just never stopped as Bosby hits a 3. Chris is playing the line, doesn't get the call. Not giving up. Trying with some fancy footwork. Halbert is playing right up on his face. Oh, 5-second defense call, and it will go to the Thunder. Thunder trying to pick it up a little bit. McKinnon drives the lane from the left-hand side. Tries to kick it out to Tansey, but it ends up in the hands of the Grizzlies. Chad White from the corner 3. Boom!
And Chad White Jr. Boom!
Bosby pulls up for a 3 of his own, no good. Air ball goes to the Grizzlies. Minute 45 left. 61-45 is where we're at right now. In between the legs of almost everyone on the court, and it ends up Grizzly ball. Tansey to McKinnon. McKinnon pulls up for an early 3, no good. Rebounded by Bosby, who goes up for the midi and does get that to fall.
The fader, 61-47.
Mitchell breaks the press all by himself, drives the lane completely, loses the ball. Bosby ends up with it, driving the lane himself. Finds McKinnon on the left-hand side, who almost loses it, goes up for a little midi himself. No good. Chris White with the rebound. Drives the lane for himself. Goes up for it, no good. Draws the foul from Tansey. 54.3 left in this game. We are stopping the clock now. Coming up next is our Fall 2024 champions, the Golden State Warriors. And they're taking on the New York Knicks. Game 1, we had the Hornets over the Celtics. Chris hits his first. 62-47. Hits him in. 63-47, 47 left. McKinnon down to Bosby, drives the lane, hits it over on the right-hand side. Hits that in. A little too late, though. 63-47, 35 left. Chad over to Ogbomo. Almost gets it stripped from Tansey. Jeremiah Mitchell touches it out of bounds, but it does end up Thunder ball. 24 seconds left. 24 left in the game clock. McKinnon up and under.
And
hits the
McKinnon
fall.
with the reverse leg.
Chad to Williams, goes up for the 3, no good. Rebounded by Springer, over to McKinnon. No good there either. Rebounded by Jeremiah Mitchell. 5, 4, 3, 2, and that will be game number 2. Grizzlies over the Thunder, 63-51. Thunder had control of this entire game, and the Grizzlies pulled up right at the end and stole it away from them.